What is future proofing of a school? Being school leaders, we must know the way school works, that we are a very important organ of the society. That any decisions or any changes in the society, the school will have to accommodate. So the progress, the policies, the changes in the school are definitely a reflection of what is happening in a society. Can we go to the next?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all know this, iconic scene, yeah, from DDLJ movie. Yeah. So where we find, one of the actor actually being able to pursue her interest. Okay. And we have the train which was actually moving. I just, wanted to bring the analogy of this train being the future, and the actor here, it is Kajol, yeah, who is, chasing her interest. I wanted to bring the analogy that schools today, okay, will have to, if we have to catch up with the future, we will have to run with the future. We will have to run with what we are interested in. Okay, a day should not happen that the changes in future will overwhelm so much that it demotivates us even to start. So us running, okay, but then it should be a happy chasing. We will not be able to pursue something that we are not happy about. Okay? So a future ready school, or rather future proofing school, is not proofing ourselves, rather, avoiding any kind of future to come, but in rather being able to ready to chase it at any point of time, being in pace with it. Can we have the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, yeah, can you just slide down to one of the pen,
Yeah.
Yeah. So as an example of, future proofing ourselves, okay. So I would, and as an example for this, I would like to give an anecdote. The date and exact individuals of this anecdote is actually unknown, but as a practice, it has been accredited to some individual whom we are familiar with. It seems once a father told his son, showing his pen, "See, this is the same pen that Nehru had used to write the letters to his daughter." So the son was in awe with this pen, and he asked his father, "How is it that such an old pen still exists?" So the father said, "In fact, it is the same pen, but the cap has been changed thrice, the cartridge twice, and the nib 4 times. So now it is still the same pen that Nehru had used." Okay. Now this is what a future is expecting us to do. That is, the school should be able to disassemble and assemble completely itself completely, and yet remain intact with the goal of education. Our goal of education should be to give a harmonious, happy childhood who has requisite skills. And this cannot change, while there are so many other things constantly changing, for which the schools will be ready to be ready. Can we go to the slide 4?
Yeah, sure.
Slides previous. Yeah, one before. So curiosity driven learning. I would like to remind all of us one of the documented histories that tell us about Newton. It seems Newton at the age of 24, that is when Isaac Newton was 24, he was working on when he was working on the 3 laws of motion, he had actually come out with 108 laws. So from 108, a man had the passion to work on it over and over and bring it all down to 3 simple laws. Now, how do we give this to our children, the 3 laws of motion? Can't we see the total disconnect in the hunger that Newton once had in deducing his 3 great laws into 3 simple ones? While our children are not even ready or interested in what is placed in front of them. Yeah, as an analogy, I have seen a child. I have put the two analogies of one is of learning and one is of a child being hungry. In the one we can see that the child is curious. In the other one we can see that the child is happily hungry. Okay, and ready for what knowledge we deliver. So can't we see that there is a total disconnect in hunger that Newton once had in deducing his great work into three simple laws, while our children are not even ready or interested in what is placed in front of them. So we are today serving children even before they ask for it, or rather we even before they need it. I'm sure all the principals and school leaders will agree if I say that if any one of us go to any class and ask Newton's third law of motion, okay, the children will, like a nursery rhymes, they will say that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you ask any child, okay, so if you kick a wall, will the wall kick you back? You may be surprised that the child may actually agree with it. Okay, this means that we have provided children something they cannot digest even before a hunger is created. Okay, so a future ready school will have provision to create curiosity, to create the hunger, a happy hunger that can assimilate all that is given to them, due to which, with due respect to the source of knowledge. This means that we have to place our syllabus, our strategies, our curriculum, our practice in such a way that keeps curiosity at the center of learning. Can we go to the next slide now?
Yeah.
On the other hand, when we have the content-driven learning, like we have been having over the years, or a time-bound learning, we will be continuing a practice disregarding children, and we will be searching for solutions outside of this practice. We are actually practicing something wrong. And as a solution for this, in order to change, instead of changing the practice, we will be finding a solution outside the practice without actually bringing any change, which will only serve as money-making exercise or will only create more desperation and more disconnected practices. Yeah. So can we go to the next slide? In a classroom of 30, 35 children, when we are working with time-bound content-based curriculum, most of the time we pressure or out of pressure, we tamper with the learning ability of children. We hurry them in their learning. I'm sure when you look at this image, you all know what I'm trying to tell. Okay, but I will still explain for the record. Learning, as I'm saying, it has its own paradigm shift, which in sometimes is a struggle. Most of our parents do not want their children to struggle. So what parents do? Put children in tuition classes or extra coaching or online classes or hurry them in their learning. Even teachers, even we are helpless in doing that. Even we, in our tendency in completing the syllabus portions on time, we hurry children. This unnecessary help sometimes we extend, or the pressure we create, okay, by school community, by parent community, actually hampers the growth of children. It demotivates them in future learning. It does not make them voluntary learners. Also, we will be robbing a very important opportunity from children in which they discover their own learning style, their own learning field, their interest. So, as you all know, in the process, in the chrysalis, yeah, if we hurry, if, for example, in any of the stages of the butterfly, if we try to help it, we all know what's going to happen. Yeah, the butterfly actually ends up dying. Okay, because it will have to find its strength through its struggle. And our children will need time. There will be mistakes, there will be many iterations out of which they will learn. Okay, and this has to be, and this is the way, and time has to be. A future ready school will be ready for this, will be ready for children to learn at their own pace. Okay, so we will have to place our syllabus, our curriculum, our strategies, our policies in a way that does not violate children's right to learn at their own pace. Next one. Yeah. So, dear friends, you all know that technology. I have some issues. Dear friends, you all know the technology is a very important element that will lead us to the future. But a very important consideration of using technology is to first understand its limitation, to try to define the scope of its use. All school leaders, I'm sure, all of you have been witness to many or myriad of technological solutions thrown at our educational institutions by many tech companies, whether or not intervention was needed. Learning, children, school community at large have always been victims of many unresearched, unscientific edtech products that have been that are diverted. There's an echo.
Um, Vivek, I would request you to please mute other participants.
Yes, yes.
So I'll come back to this point that we have been witness to this practice of just randomly throwing edtech solutions at schools. Okay, whether one such solution was required or not. Okay, one of the examples I would like to give you, okay, is that many content creators have only been focusing on creating great visuals, assuming that such overwhelming visuals will create great learners, and it will it will reduce all the burdens of a classroom. Okay, but as I have discussed earlier, when something is given to children, okay, when the curiosity in itself was not allowed to grow, the learning that happens is going to be very minimal or even nothing. If we can think that a child falls asleep over a textbook, a child can also fall asleep over a video. Okay, so the technology intervention should be to aid the monotonous work or the cumbersome work in that is actually hampering the mindset of teachers. Okay, that is causing mental stress for teachers. Okay, if technology can be used in such places, I would definitely like to congratulate Tag Hive for this product. Is a not that they have asked me to say anything about this, but this is finding solution for the teaching and learning practice. It is not trying to replicate what a teacher can do on her own, or it is not something that has mindlessly been designed. Okay, saying that it is going to increase the interest of the child. So a future ready school will definitely be wary of technology. Okay, and know the limit, its use and its limitation both. Next slide. Um, is that the next slide? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. So, here are some, pedagogical practices that I have just displayed. A few of which, namely, that which I have displayed are game-based learning, project-based learning, and hybrid learning. Okay, and I'm not going to talk, or I'm not going to say any of these things that are that any one of these or all of these are important. I'm not for that. Okay, I'm trying to share my point here is that in future days there may come many such practices. See, okay, there are three practices that I have put here. One is game-based learning. The second one is hybrid learning, that where that came during the lockdown. Okay, and one more is project-based learning. And we may have many pedagogies coming to us, many theories, many educational, ideas, intervention strategies that may come to us. Okay, yeah. So in future days, but school will always have to get, as school leaders, we should know one thing, that there are many changes that will come. Okay, but we must acknowledge that the reading, writing, arithmetic aspect of the academics must always be taught to children. There is no shortcut for that. Okay, school will have to enhance practices. Okay, so there are things that will constantly change. There are things that will constantly come new. Okay, but there are some things that are core. Okay, that the child will not be able to learn on themselves. At least most of the children will not be able to learn on their own. Okay, now the very primary of that is reading, writing, and arithmetic. Yeah, so a future school will be conscious of this, that there are a few things that are core to a child. Okay, I'm sure none of the children are born, and immediately they start, you know, counting. Or, there are many children for whom, number skills and, language skills will have to be developed by continuous practice. Readings will have to be given, many reading practice will have to be given. Okay, so always in our planning, in our curriculum, there are going to be two elements. One, which we will have to train come what may, that will not change. The others, okay, like few things that now the CBSE and both ICSE are insisting, that we have to train children in financial literacy, okay, and entrepreneurial skills and leadership skills. Okay, such things keep coming and keep going. Okay, yeah, but we will always be required, okay, to teach some, to always consider fundamentals as very important, and our syllabus, our curriculum will have to be oriented to make these things strong. Okay, and there is no shortcut for this. A future ready school uh, is the one which consider both changing and not changing aspect of education, and it should also be able to make distinction between it. Okay, yeah. Next slide. Yeah, so it was the same thing that I was trying to tell you. Okay, that we have. Yeah. So so many skills that now the boards are asking us to say. Yeah? So we will, like, for example, entrepreneurial skills, financial literacy, leadership, community service, and there are going to be n number. And nowadays we are also being told that we should teach children robotics, coding. Yeah, and there is no end to this. And also the schools will have to be very cautious, I mean careful about these things, because let us say, today our challenges are this. One of the argument that many tech companies use when they are selling products like robotics and coding is that in future children will have to use it. Okay, so if in future children will have to do spacewalk, are we going to give them this practice? Are you going to cater to everything that the NEP says? Okay, the NEP very clearly says that the textbooks publishers will have to have, the all the subjects printed in their mother tongue as well. This is a point in the NEP. Where is this in practice? Okay, so this is an important aspect that I want to tell, that not everything children cannot, not everything that may come in the future can be given practice today, train today, or not all skills can be covered. There is something in human beings called as our own adaptability. What happened during COVID? Were we prepared for one nearly, 1.5 year of almost 1.5 year of lockdown? Were we prepared for it? Were our teachers prepared for teaching online? Were children capable or prepared for learning online? Many children capable of sitting at home most of the time. And when the occasion come, we raise them. Not talking about always being able to always look forward for something that is not as good as COVID. Okay, but when situation demands, human beings have the skill to raise to it. So children will have to play. Children will have to bond. They will have to learn socializing. They'll have to concentrate on health, on fitness. Okay, but today more because someone feels that in future they will have to learn coding, they will have to learn robotics, okay, and whatnot, AI, and children will have to learn about it today. I think it is a very weak argument. It is underestimating the adaptability of a human being, and it is just an exercise where mindlessly things have been thrown into educational institutions. Next slide. And ma'am has put it as a collaboration and teamwork. So this also comes, this is something that I also want to speak about. So, a minute, just my screen is. Give me a minute, I'm sorry.
Sure. Meanwhile, if any one of the attendees have any questions, you all can drop down your respective questions over the chat box.
Yeah, next slide. Now I'll talk about this later. Next slide. I think one slide is missed, man. Can you go up? Go up, go up. Yeah. One slide is missing where I had put about stakeholders.
Okay.
Yeah, it is okay. Ma'am, I can still explain without that. Yeah. So one of the point I was trying to tell, see, my whole idea of future proofing is very less about academics and more about those elements which will enable us to give good education to children. Okay, and all of us as school leaders know this, that teaching children is by far the most peaceful and easiest job, okay, of of the many works that happens in the school. Okay, so one important aspect that I definitely want to make a point is about stakeholders. Okay, yeah, a future school will always protect the rights of all its stakeholders. Like today, we have many young parents. Young parents are very thoughtful about their children's education. Okay, they are very particular about the mind state of children, physical state, career prospect of children, and in between all these things, they get so engrossed that they forget that such well wishers are also there in school. Yeah, many times these parents look at the teaching community and the school, I mean the teachers, the management with great suspicion. Yeah, and they are even bothered about every minor milestones of children, why this is not happening. Okay, and many parents, this is a very sorry state that many parents look at school or this education because private schools they pay fees more like taking a SIM card connection. They want all the features. They want to be able to access all the features. They want to be their son to have accessed all the possible merits that a school can cater to. This is something that is not possible the parents here, when they get into such mode, are violating the right of a teacher. Okay, I see in my own school, parents get into this argument that that their child has this work was not done to their child. Okay, and the teacher has not been concentrating on their child. Okay, yeah. Now, totally forgetting that there will be around 20, 30, around more children for the teacher to concentrate. Okay, at the same time, this is not only restricted to teachers alone. Yeah, this is also with teachers with regard to parents. Just because they don't find something in a child, a teacher will always be of the idea. Okay, all these parents, their commitment to child is less. Okay, they are not empathetic, not participative. Okay. And I'm talking about the four stakeholders: teacher, child, management, parent. The same thing can also happen from the management when a management is having a dialogue with a child or with a teacher, okay, or with a parent, or a teacher is having a dialogue with with a child. Okay. So a future school, according to me, will have to protect everyone's right. Okay, we'll have to acknowledge the goodness in all. We'll have to give feedback in a way that is in harmony with each other. Okay, and will not, collapse because the parent or the management or the children or the teacher or any one of us are ill-informed. Okay, so we are looking at when we talk about future school, we should be looking at creating a community mindset where one helps the other to grow. A teacher gives a feedback to parent on where they can help. A parent in turn will have to trust teacher where she or he can aid their children. And also proper time should be given, proper, what do you say? Good allowances for the child should be given for them to grow. Yeah. So, but then most of these things are missing today, where we are violating each other's right. Okay. Today we see children, high school children being school leaders. High school children. What are the difficulties, especially after COVID? We are dealing with. Okay, children are, as in the newspapers, we see children have access to many things. Okay, and all are these things that they bring. Okay, so this is one question I always have for parents. If anything goes wrong in school, okay, you're ready to blame the school, hold the school completely responsible. Your child is bringing something inside the school. Are you not responsible for that? Okay, so a future ready school will will make everyone, will set rules for everyone and does not allow people to interfere in each other. And even if we do, we will do in a way that the community grows. Next slide. No? Yeah, ma'am, the previous slide. Yeah.
This one?
Yes. Yeah. So here, I have just put this text there that the outcome of learning must be a fulfilling experience and not a categorizing and a labeling one. Yeah. Now this, if we come inside our classrooms, okay, we are all yet to reach there. Okay, I know a few days back CBSE also was coming out with a kind of evaluation practice where grading is going to be removed. Okay, and let us look ahead. Let us welcome, such things, that learning must be a fulfilling experience. Most of the time, at least when we grew, and even many cases now, okay, learning is something that, at the end of learning, instead of being fulfilled, instead of being transformed, child will always feel categorized. Even an A plus child in our schools, most of our schools, and if we may think, okay, when we say categorizing is bad, we will only think about those children who are wrongly categorized or who are negatively categorized. Even those who are better categorized, like A plus, yeah, don't you think even that is wrong? Yeah. So they are always working hard, they are always scoring well, only to be there in that category. which is again wrong, and that should not be the outcome of learning. Okay, the outcome of learning should be, as I've been able to think only so much, that it should be a fulfilling experience. Okay, creating, happy patterns, okay, in their mind for further learning, stress-free patterns and stress-free environment in school. So this is an aim to all of us. Okay, how we are going to do it? Okay, each community will have to find its own means. Okay, so that is the reason I put in my first slide. I think some people have joined late. Can you just scroll back to that first slide, ma'am?
Yeah, sure, sir.
So I was no, one next. Yeah. So a future proof school is always that we are chasing our interest. Okay. We is something that we are always working to. Okay. When we say future proof, we are not looking at another future to help us. There we are already working. Okay. And we are ensuring that changes happen, and we are at the same time we are aware that what we are working will also fall short. Yeah, can you please go to the next slide? Yeah. And time bound learning, yeah, content based learning is definitely it is not that we should disregard. This is one of the things I told you in the beginning. Okay, when we talk about future, we should definitely respect what is there, what is that we have in the present. Okay, most of our practices are very good, and I would definitely ascertain this very loudly. I would like to ascertain this and proudly also, that whatever India has been practicing is good. Okay, it is not simply that a great percentage of doctors, engineers in many countries, you will find Indians doing that. Okay, yeah. It is not just a miracle, or it is not just a shot in the dark that we have been able to produce so many doctors and scientists. What we have been practicing is already great, though there is scope in the future. Okay, and you know, just yeah, and that should be the basis of our planning. Yeah, and understanding in a classroom, any classroom understanding, okay, should be a liberating process. Okay, and it should not be a complying process. Any when a child understands a subject, okay, the understanding must liberate them for future learning. Okay, yeah, why I am saying this, that it should not be a complying process but only an understanding process, is because we see many schools today, okay, especially when children come to high schools, okay, we are fixed with the kind of result we want. And once we fix the kind of result we want, the training, the hard work, the exercise, everything is streamlined and standardized. Okay, most of our children fall in line with that. Okay, and they are complying to it. So we are definitely looking forward, and I do not know about others here. Yeah, but I personally feel, yeah, it'll be better if as many are saying, and I don't know if it is a rumor of it or it is true, that maybe CBSE will be able to do away with the class 10 board exam. I'm not sure whether they are doing where they will do it, but I think the day they do it will be one of the best things, because if you look at it, age 13 to age 18, when they will take their board exam in 12th, this period is where children, a lot of changes in children, okay, and children are interested in learning many skills. They are not restricted, they do not restrict themselves over a few skills. They do not sleep over that. They want to explore a lot. Okay, but because of our class 10 board exam, what is happening is right from ninth standard, children are put to tuitions or extra classes. Okay, and in some schools, sports, band, dance, many things are stopped. Okay, so we are only training children to score marks. Okay, to comply and continuously comply. And when they actually go out in the job market, they are expected not to comply. They are expected to think out of the box, to create something. Okay, so we are actually hampering such abilities in children. So I mean, this was only my personal take, but even in class, okay, when we train children in answering over and over and over, this will no more be liberating. Yeah, uh, no more be a liberating experience. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And the next slide. Yeah, I've already explained this. Yeah, this, ma'am. Next one, can you go to a little up for that bulb? I was trying. Yeah, this is very personal to me. Yeah, school in future compulsorily. I think there is no escape. Yeah, CBSE is also CBSE and ICSE are also insisting on this. We will have to become an inclusive school. Okay, or no more. There is no more a concept of inclusive school. Inclusivity is mandatory. Okay, and I feel that is a great way to do it. Okay, it is not just other. We are helping those who are in need. We are helping special children. It is not that. It is also helping our children to be in the same room as those who are not as skilled, as strong, as able as them. It is a free of cost course in empathy, yeah, in inclusivity for children who are not um, special. Yeah, so a future school will definitely have provision for inclusivity, where it teaches or it allows children to learn to live with those who are able, those who are less able, differently able, specially able. Okay, it also has sustainable practices. Okay, we see the government of India has been doing many things, and asking schools to comply and also practice and to celebrate many occasions. Okay, where sustainability is practiced, good health is practiced, on and awareness is spread, fitness is practiced and awareness is spread. Okay, the environment, okay, is given due respect. So, and many such aspects that constitutes important today and forever has been should always be taken, and with should always have a place in their year plan. Yeah. So it may yield great you know publicity to school, or sometimes it may not yield. Okay, but definitely all these are important, and it is these that will make children when they actually go out of the school. Okay, it will help all these children to become a positive self among um, uh, many type of individuals they are going to meet in future. So yes, ma'am. And the ma'am has put some lifelong learning. A future school, according to me, will help all individuals. Okay, the harmony of the school will be so much. Okay, this is a dream, just like Rabindranath Tagore also had a dream. So let us also have a dream. Okay, so I dream that a future school will be able to will allow an individual to go deep within himself, to find the spiritual truth and unlock the meaning of life for himself and for others. Yeah, so this was my two bits about what I would consider. Yeah, actually, it is very great and of tag have that they have put that learn from leader. Okay, but I would just thanking them on that all the great adjectives that they have used. I would I would definitely like to admit that I'm extremely simple, too simple for such great adjectives. And also, as you all know, I'm just sharing whatever I could. I felt most of you here, okay, are definitely as or even more capable than me. So I'm definitely looking forward to hear from you, and if we can have a discussion, so and add even more points, okay, for us to ponder positively about this topic. Yeah, thank you very much. I thank all.